gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting just took place. Excuse me, I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo. Ain't that nigga J.
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
that
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass
Yeah,
that's that nigga.
That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
Today, Frances Walker's family is able to access her home on North Washtenaw.
I was in tears, but what can we do? You know, see stuff everywhere, pictures of her when she got married and her brother.
And this is crazy. Guys, I did a video on Black women are the most educated but the most evicted, and now we have a sister who has dismembered her landlord. This is a big issue, especially when it comes to the eviction moratorium, where landlords are not allowed to evict their tenants, and now just recently they have been given that ability. But the problem is the issue is that they don't want to go. These tenants don't want to leave. And in this case, you have an elderly landlord, an elderly female landlord, and she was no chance for this super sister gremlin on demon time.
And I just feel we miss her more.
While the family gathered mementos, one of Walker's tenants was in court, charged with killing Walker on Monday. Today, a Cook County judge ordered Sandra Kalalu held on no bail.
Sandra Kalalu, man. This chick is savage, bro.
I can see they're still investigating. That authorities want to have a fair trial, and in a fair trial, she's going to be locked up for a long time.
I was happy with the decision today because I think this woman doesn't deserve to be in the community.
Today in court, a Cook County prosecutor told the judge Walker put an eviction notice on Kalalu's door Sunday, and that other tenants heard the two arguing.
The basement tenant.
See, you cannot tell these super gremlins to leave nowhere. You can't tell them to leave because now they're going to come back looking for smoke.
Heard the defendant screaming and what sounded like a dish breaking. The basement tenant heard the victim's voice trying to calm the defendant down, and that was the last time she heard the victim's voice.
The prosecutors said police were called to the house 3 times on Monday to check on Walker, the third time discovering some of Walker's body parts in a freezer. Relatives tell us Walker called police previously to have Kalalu removed after making threats, but Kalalu resided there and was allowed to stay.
It's the renters that has favor. Look what happened. If the police would...
Yeah, see, and That's an issue, man. These policies are only favoring renters, and they're trying to squeeze landlords out. They're trying to squeeze landlords out. You know, there's a quote that says, you know, in the future, everybody will all be renters, own nothing, and they'll be happy.
Would have listened, our system was really there, our sister would have been alive.
There's still improvements that can be made to the system and still keep it fair. Because if they look at this fairly, they know this is a dangerous person.
And imagine having to live with that sister. Imagine having to, you know, she's in the basement, you're on the top floor, and you're living on top of a super sister gremlin on demon time.
Now at 4:30 today, we're learning more about the murder of a landlord inside an Arcadia Park home.
The victim, 69-year-old Frances Walker, is described as generous, friendly, someone who welcomed others into her home. Right now, no bond for the murder suspect. CBS 2 investigator Megan Hickey joins us live from outside the home in Arcadia.
Damn, and see, this is why, like, we get discriminated against when it comes to renting properties and apartments and all that kind of stuff. They just it's bad out here. I mean, and then with the headline that we did in the live stream, Black women are the most educated but the most evicted. I mean, that's gotta be something that's at the least factored in to why you would, if there's evidence of discriminatory housing practices, why you would see that.
Terrace with the new gruesome details coming out of court. Megan.
Right, Jim and Erica, and I do want to warn our viewers that some of these details are very disturbing. In particular, the fact that the victim's severed head, arms, and legs were found in a freezer in this home behind me, but her torso is still missing.
Wow, where'd she put the torso? Severed head, arms, and legs. Shawty said arm, leg, arm, head. This is God body. And she threw that woman's remains in the freezer, dog. What did she do with the torso? And they was talking about Dahmer. Dahmer? He ain't got nothing on this super sister gremlin on demon time.
Prosecutors say 36-year-old Sandra Kalalu was one of 5 people renting a room in this white house from Frances Walker. The other tenants had issues with Kalalu, and on Friday,
of course they did,
Walker changed the locks on 2 doors to keep her out of other areas of the house. Then on Sunday, Walker posted an eviction notice on her door. Tenants said they heard Walker and Kalalu fighting about it.
The basement tenant heard the defendants screaming and what sounded like a dish breaking. The basement tenant heard the victim's voice trying to calm the defendant down, and that was the last time she heard the victim's voice.
A tenant called police the next day to report a missing person. Police responded but did not speak with Kalalu, who had called a tow truck to take her to Foster Beach, where her broken down car was parked. The tow truck driver watched her dump a black garbage bag into a green garbage can at the beach. Officers later found paper, greeting cards, pooled blood, and blood-soaked rags inside. Police contacted the tow truck driver, and he stalled the offender at a car repair shop until the police arrived. The mechanic refused to service the car because of the police involvement. When the tow truck driver drove her to Western and Estes, where she wanted to be dropped off, she pulled a knife on him. That's when Kalalu was arrested by police.
Wow. This woman is a menace.
The house, Walker's body parts were found in the freezer. Police said blood was also found in the common area between their rooms, the threshold leading to Kalalu's room, many locations in Walker's bedroom.
And I guarantee she had kids. There's no way she didn't have no kids.
First floor bathroom, sink, and closet, on 2 chef knives found in the first floor kitchen, and on a Lysol bottle in Kalalu's bedroom.
Wow.
No bond for Kalalu. Her next court date is set for October 31st. And coming up at 5, we're looking into her criminal history, which includes assault and battery, although only misdemeanor.
And she got through and was able to rent this woman's basement with that type of background. Did the woman do a background check on her? It's crazy, man.
Their cases. We're also looking at previous calls for help for police at this very home. And some of those calls happened just last week. Right now, I'm live in Arcadia Terrace. Megan Hickey, CBS 2 investigators.
All right, Megan, thank you.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comments section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
The victim, 69-year-old Frances Walker, is described as generous, friendly, someone who welcomed others into her home.
We have team coverage tonight. CBS 2's Charlie DeMar spoke with the family and friends, but we begin with Jermont Terry on the investigation. Jermont.
Erica and Joe, the woman charged in this murder is not talking to detectives tonight. And despite invoking her Fifth Amendment rights, Chicago police are trying to piece together what they can about this disturbing case.
Wow, and she ain't finna get no details. She ain't gonna say why she did it. This is sickening.
And how they believe this gruesome murder played out. Investigators in hazmat suits uncovering the forensic evidence at this house in Arcadia Terrace on the north side. It's here where Chicago police say Sandra Kulaulu murdered her landlord, dismembered the woman, and then tried hiding the body parts. Yet before the discovery, early Monday morning, others living in the building were awakened.
They heard a screaming at about 2:30 in the morning Monday night. And that's when the next day at about, like I said, 6 or 7 p.m., they called to report the victim missing.
Police say Kulaulu was known to argue with her landlord, Frances Walker, and tenants called 911 several times about her.
Many of the tenants who lived in this house were afraid of this individual.
Which is why they suspected something serious happened the night before, right below them.
They immediately started texting the victim saying, "Are you okay?"
Yet police say Kulaulu replied to text messages, leaving the impression Walker was still alive.
Wow. And I bet she was like blood-soaked, replying to texts, just scrambling.
But the tenants still called police.
They couldn't find any signs of, blood or foul play.
Officers tried talking to Kulaulu before she jumped into a tow truck at the house.
The defendant at that time said that she knew her rights, didn't want to talk to the police.
The tow truck driver took her to Foster Beach, unaware what police would later find in this garbage can: human remains. Outside the house, officers spotted blood-stained rags. Police then went inside Kulaulu's bedroom. There, cops were met with a ghastly sight.
At which point, they discovered the gruesome remains in a freezer.
Oh my God, that's disgusting. That's disgusting, man. Literally dismembered this old, sweet lady. Oh man, these super sister gremlins are on demon time.
Possibly could have been done with large butcher knives.
Now, police say the murder and dismemberment all happened inside the house, telling us that they also found some blood-stained knives inside as well. When asked about a possible motive, police say that Kulaulu had recently received her eviction notice just a few days before. Reporting live outside police headquarters tonight.
And in that in that live stream I did, they were saying Black women are non-confrontational, and I'm like, whoa, that's not true at all. I guess this is what non-confrontational looks like.
Jermont Terry, CBS 2 News.
Just awful. Jermont, thanks.
And it was a terrifying ride for that tow truck driver, who says after he picked up that woman from this home, it was scary throughout the night. He says he ended that ride fending her off with a stick and being scared for his life.
That man got a crazy list.
holding the stick, pointing it directly at her, like, hey, back up.
A Monday night on the job for Antonio Correa ending in fear.
Everything inside the truck's feeling like, hey, you finna get stabbed.
After he arrived to this far north side home to pick up Sandra Kolalu, just as police were filing a missing persons report for her landlord, Francis Walker.
She comes out with the black bag. The cops are stopping her. Hey, we have some questions. We want to talk to you.
He says police spoke briefly to Kolalu, then let her go. Now in the truck, he says the two of them went to Foster Beach to tow her SUV.
Before I get there, one of the neighbors that I was talking to, she calls me back. Hey, just be careful because we feel like she's guilty.
Correa says he saw her dump the plastic bag in this garbage bin at the beach. He then took her and her vehicle to this mechanic shop on Western and Tui. The owner tells me off camera he refused to service the SUV when the police arrived.
Wow. She was trying to get rid of the evidence.
Kolalu was again questioned by officers, but released. Correa says he then agreed to drop the woman back.
Released? That's insane. They had her, then released her. She could have hurt some more people. If that ain't female privilege, I don't know what is.
Home, but a short time later, when he parked his truck for payment.
I'm writing out her information of the card on the receipt. And then when I see the name, I'm like, what the heck? Your name, you're saying your name is Sandra. Who the heck is Francis Walker?
That's when he says she began to act threatening, pulling out a pocket knife. Police not far away.
And that's when they come grab her. Come to find out she did have a knife in her hand.
That's when the police finally took her into custody and returned here to find her landlord's remains inside of the home. Tonight, that suspect is being held on no bond.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot. By the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, cyberspace? It's a Black Gen Z mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video. So, guys, I got to break this joint down. Kanye West, bro, this man is going in. No cap. He's talking a lot. He's saying a lot. It sounds like he's been off of his medication for a minute now, and he's coming back into his natural thought process and his natural senses. And that's good, man. I think it's good. I think it's great. I think he might tell us something that we may not know about what's going on in the industry. And I think he's dropping a little hints here and there. So what I'm going to do is break down this Kanye West interview because it really says a lot. And I know we have been getting a little conspiratorial on this channel as of late, but as you can see, Kanye is not holding anything back. So I do want to play this video. Kanye West says he can't be controlled because he hasn't murked anybody. He can say whatever he wants and not go to jail. And that's good. I think a lot of these rappers are saying what they want and catching bodies. So they're easily controlled because they can just throw you back in jail. I saw a clip of somebody saying, I think it was Vlad or something. He said he only seen 2 people beat the feds, but NBA YoungBoy just beat the feds. And that's because he is completely a puppet. And, you know, Young Thug and them might get off on a technicality, according to what their lawyer is saying. So YSL might be back on the streets, you know, getting back at their ops and people who may have spoke down on them and try to expose them in Atlanta. So Kanye West is speaking up. Okay. He's putting his life on the line to tell the America, but specifically so-called African Americans, what the dealio is in Hollywood. So listen up, guys. I think this is huge.
Can't control you. They can't. They try to suppress you, but that's how they try to categorize.
They can't control me. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq.
Uh-oh.
They can control Charles Barkley.
Uh-oh.
They can control LeBron James.
Uh-oh. Yeah. And y'all seen what LeBron James did. We're going to get into LeBron James because he on Twitter acting an ass. Dude, LeBron James is on some bullshit, bro. LeBron James is on some bullshit, bro. Capitulating back and forth, on the way that he's feeling. Takeoff's funeral was today as well. The tickets sold out in Atlanta, so I didn't get a ticket. On this channel, we believe that the Takeoff thing was definitely a sacrifice. Okay. As a matter of fact, Offset and Quavo are, mending their feud, and now they're about to be a duo. Okay. But let's listen up to what Kanye has to say.
They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me. You
Not
see,
you.
it ain't no name I won't name.
Uh-oh.
It's up.
He said it ain't no name he won't name. Drop some names, yay. And he did drop some names. He showed the red list, as he called it, which we broke down. So Kanye is really speaking on this stuff. And guys, I told you I'm going to do a stream on, the small hats part in the slave trade, as financiers in certain aspects. It is what it is. It's history. African Americans sold slaves. Not African American. Well, African Americans had slaves, but Africans sold slaves. And everybody participated in the trade, man. That's the reality of the situation. And it's a horrible thing in history and whatnot. And it's still going on today in some African countries and in Arab countries. But all in all, nobody really wants to talk about, certain people's influence in slavery. And it is what it is. Nobody's trying to point the finger, but we're trying to let history know that, hey, y'all played y'all part too. Don't act like y'all innocent. That's the thing. Don't act like y'all wasn't over here doing this as well. And that's really all that I think that these guys were saying. Even with the film that Kyrie shared on Amazon, I actually rented it. And I'm in the process of watching it right now. We might do a breakdown on it. But, certain things were dramatized, and there was a lot of advertisement of, the first 10 minutes was just advertisements of a documentary and then of books that he was writing. But there was some information in there that you could really piece together, and it made for an interesting story, to say the least. So you see, nobody is really riding with Kanye right now. Everybody turned their back on him, and it's probably because the White Lives Matter thing, which honestly, I really do think that was extra. I think he could have done without that. I think that Candace Owens used it for her moment and then distanced herself once he started talking about the small hats. And it is what it is. Okay. So let's keep watching.
No, you.
You know what I'm saying? And just for Minister Farrakhan, I love you. But the way you read that, I took that as a slight. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking.
Ooh, hey, he's speaking with that fire right now. Like he said, hey, and to the Minister Farrakhan, the way you read that, I took that as a slight. Like he's really speaking with a clear mind. He's never really spoken like this in a long time. You feel what I'm saying? Like it seems like he's drug free, no alcohol, no drugs, no pills. And he's really like getting back to that college dropout. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. You know, and with the Donda church thing, there are some issues. I do have some issues with some of his lyrics. And you know, he could be controlled opposition as well. Okay, like I'm not ruling that out, but the character that he's playing now, I'm fucking with it. Ye is, you know what I'm saying? Like the way he's just sounding like more like cohesive in the way that he talking. Like, yo, hey, y'all ain't finna play with me like that, like da 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 da, whatever. Like it seems like his thoughts are going to his brain a lot faster now that Harley Pasternak has gotten his greasy hands all up off him. He done got him up off him. You know, Pasternak, the one who had Kanye institutionalized. You know, Pasternak, who is the celebrity trainer of damn near every freaking celebrity in Hollywood. Handler. Okay. So we expose Mr. Pasternak, and maybe we'll do a live stream on it. And I'm not trying to disrespect him anyway. I'm just saying, like, I think he overreached his power with my man Ye. I think that he unjustifiably institutionalized my brother. And you know, I really think that Kanye is onto some shit. So let's keep listening.
Disrespect from nobody. So let's get on the phone. Let's talk that out. I don't care who you are. I ain't taking no slice from nobody, right? I ain't taking no slice from nobody. It's God. That's the only person that I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Woo! Hold on. This thing, I mean, there have been so many videos saying, yo, you know, we believe that Kanye's mom was, you know, a sacrifice. There are a lot of symbolism that has played into this. Okay. And now he's admitting that his mother was a sacrifice. Sorry, my chair is creaking. I need to get like a gamer chair or something. He's admitting, maybe y'all hit that damn Super Trap, that Cash App, that PayPal, I can get me a gamer chair. But he's admitting that his mom was sacrificed. This ain't no little thing now. And you know, Donda, the one who allegedly she went under the knife in order to get a little nip tuck and keep up with Hollywood appearances because people would take pictures of her. Why didn't she go to Harley? If he's such a fucking great trainer, that's what I said in the last damn stream, and y'all niggas didn't listen to me. If he's such a great trainer, then why the hell is every Hollywood superstar going under the knife? Why is every Hollywood superstar mutilating themselves in order to look better? If Harley Pasternak is such a fucking great trainer, then why the hell can't he keep his clients from going under the knife? See, my clients, I don't care how fat you are, baby. The only time you're going to go under the knife is when you're going to have to get rid of that extra loose skin. My clients are not going under the knife. I'm molding you into a bad bitch. I'm turning you into a bad bitch. That's my goal as a trainer for women. And then as for men, I'm turning you into a fucking unit. There is no ifs, ands, or in-betweens. You don't have to go under the knife if you're getting trained under the Reclaim Your Throne D1 Elite Training Course. Okay? So why does Harley's clients keep having to go under the knife? We see Kanye got liposuction, and he admitted that. He said he felt like he had to get liposuction to keep up with Hollywood. Maybe Harley was telling him that he was fat shaming him. We don't know. Media, whatever. But Kanye got a trainer, though. Why didn't he just tell him to get on a low-carb diet, low-calorie diet? You know, calorie deficit is what they call it. Watch your intake and then grind like hell in the gym. It's that simple. Intermittent fasting Eat 1-2 meals a day. Low carbs. Keep the carbs low. Why didn't Harley tell that to... Bro, every bitch that he trains, I'm not going to say every man, but every bitch he trains has gone under the knife. Why couldn't he train them to get the body that they wanted? See, this is the bullshit I'm talking about, guys. This is what I'm talking about. So Kanye is now admitting that his mother was a sacrifice. A sacrifice for who? A sacrifice for who? The Masonic agenda, guys. That's what's going down. This is a call from the higher ups. I'd be interested to see who her doctor was. Lord have mercy. Don't let me get into who her surgeon was. Don't make me search. I'm gonna have to search it.
Me too. You understand? Yeah. Michael Jordan. What about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You know, out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing.
Woo! Damn. He said in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Hold on. What about Takeoff? I thought he was supposed to be with Mob Ties. What about Takeoff? Takeoff's funeral was today. He was supposed to be with the big bosses of Houston, but those are the same ones who put a bullet in his fucking brain. Those are the same niggas who put a bullet in his stomach and a bullet in his brain. Takeoff was a sacrifice. He was I mean, bro, everything is lining up. It's wicked out here, bro. At this point, Lord have mercy. And this is not me making this shit up. I want to finish this Kanye video, but we got the name of the surgeon who operated on Kanye West's mother. Are we going to say that it's his fault? No, we're not going to say that it's his fault. But, you know, there's some interesting things about him. Okay. Interesting things about him that we're going to get into. Okay. We'll get into it.
Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize. And God loved me. You understand? They hit me. Gap, Adidas, all that away. Still Forbes, who hate me, right? Had to write net worth 400 million. Jesus is king. God loved me.
That's more important than people in life.
That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? And this truth is going to be heard. Y'all can't send none of y'all Meek Mills, y'all Puffies, y'all Lil Boozies, none of these names, none of these people that have to listen to y'all because they have legal. I never killed nobody, right?
Yep. See, you hear him. He said all these people that got into the industry, see, this is how they get you. And this is a part of like the ritualistic part of it. They have to have something on you to make you a king. Nobody is made king if they don't have something on you. Because yes, Hollywood, they're king makers and they choose and select who becomes king and who stays a fucking peasant. All the talent, there's plenty of talent all over this world, bro. Plenty of talent, plenty of people who could have made it, but they weren't willing to do certain things. They weren't willing to compromise themselves with certain acts, with certain sexual acts, with certain violent acts, with certain acts that were, you know, immoral. They weren't willing to do it. You see a lot of these rappers are trying to get in through that way because they know that's a door to enter through. They know that if they are associated with a body, then their stock rises. Look at King Von. Look at Lil Durk. Look at Q Money. I did a story on Q Money. He killed one of his best friends. Rapper from Cleveland. Gangster rapper. Or what they call gangster rappers today. He killed one of his best friends. Yes, bro. And he's still on Instagram. The man murdered his best friend. He's still on Instagram. They didn't remove him. YNW Melly still on Instagram. They didn't remove him. He killed two of his best friends. You got to be fucking kidding me. None of his music is demonetized. If you go to YouTube right now with YNW Melly, none of his music's demonetized. You go there right now. Go to his channel. His channel's still the fuck up. Even after he'll get convicted. You know why? Because he's signed to that damn record label. And the record label is protecting him. And the record label is directly involved with every single process, every process of this world that you could think of, every important thing. These record label executives have ties to, bro. No cap. I played y'all the video on the last stream of what's that man named Kevin Lyles in court. Kevin Lyles in court, copping pleas for Young Thug. Young Thug, oh, he's one of the greatest young men that I know. Yes, he's a great young man. And yeah, I mean, what he's done for his community, I mean, he's a great young man. I mean, forget all that slime life season. Forget him bragging about beating bodies. Yeah, just forget all that. He's a great young man. And what he's done for my pockets, goddamn. Let's not speak on the pockets. We don't want to end this gravy train, Your Honor. We don't want to end this gravy train. So, yeah, we're going to need him to, get off. Okay? He's going to have to get off. It's ridiculous.
The pussy that never killed nobody, right? But that means I can say whatever I want and not go to jail.
Can't scare you. They can't control you. They can't.
So I'm going to play it one more time. Kanye West said out of his mouth that his mother was a sacrifice. Now, I don't know who facilitated that sacrifice, but what I am going to tell you is that the brother who operated on Kanye West's mom, I mean, we're gonna tie it back to some things that are very interesting. That's all I'll say. Okay? That's all I will say. I mean, this guy has connections like a motherfucker. Guy has connections, man. The guy who operated on Kanye's mother. Let's get into it.
They try to suppress you, but that's how they try to categorize
They
you.
can't control me. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James.
And we'll get into LeBron. We'll get into Charles Barkley. We'll get into Shaq on what they said. I mean, they're straight disrespecting Kyrie Irving, and all he did was share a fucking movie that is on Amazon, who's owned by Jeff Bezos, who I believe is a small hat. So Jeff Bezos ain't getting canceled for hosting the movie on his platform. Oh yeah, he's getting that bread though. Cyrus Cherry says with the $5 super trap says, but Gen Z, this sacrifice stuff doesn't make sense. Are Freemasons paying random people to kill celebrities? A lot of people would have to be involved.
Oh, say less.
I can't pin it on one entity. I'm just saying the imagery is there. The imagery is there, bro. And I'm not going to go and say that, oh yeah, this individual did that, but we're going to find out, or we have found out who killed Takeoff, bro. I mean, these dudes definitely have ties to these secret societies for sure. So the imagery is there. I don't think it's really that difficult to believe, but I'm going to piece it together. I'm going to piece at least what I can together. Okay. So that's what we're doing. We're just piecing things together. I'm not saying that it was definitively, yes, they did this and did that, but I think these people are getting whacked, bro. Look at Aaron Carter, bro. He tweeted that he wanted to have a conversation with Kanye West, and then the next day he fucking croaks. Bro, come on. I mean, that can't be a coincidence. And that's what they do, bro. Is hiding in plain sight. And they took my man's blue check away. So we're going to listen to Kanye one more time. Then we'll get into the Aaron Carter shit. Then we'll get into the doctor that deleted Kanye's mom.
They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me. You
Not
see, it
you.
ain't no name I won't name.
Exactly.
It's up.
Woo. Not you.
You know what I'm saying? And just for Minister Farrakhan, I love you. But the way you read that, I took that as a slight. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking no disrespect from nobody. So let's get on the phone. Let's talk that out. I don't care who you are. I ain't taking no slice from nobody. Right? I ain't taking no slice from nobody. It's God. It's the only person that I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Me too.
You understand?
Yeah. I'm appreciate
Michael Jordan. What about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You know, out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing.
Yeah.
Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize. And God loved me. You understand? They hit me. Gap, Adidas, all that away. Still, Forbes, who hate me, right, had to write net worth 400 million.
Uh-oh.
Jesus is king. God loved me.
That's more important thing in life.
That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? And this truth is going to be heard. Y'all can't send none of y'all Meek Mills, y'all Puffies, y'all Lil Boozies, none of these names, none of these people that have to listen to y'all because they have legal. I never killed nobody.
Yep. All those guys connected to bodies. Meek Mill in Philly, Boosie in Louisiana. Connected to bodies. P. Diddy, Biggie, all that shit connected to bodies.
Right? I'm the pussy that never killed nobody, right? But that means I can say whatever I want and not go to jail.
It's scary. They can't control you. They can't. They try to suppress you, but that's how they try to categorize.
They can't.
And like I said, my only thing with Kanye, I mean, I think he did do some interviews with the one that he did the 16-minute interview. He did, I guess, do it with black platforms, but yeah, he needs to. I think he needs to sit down with some black platforms for sure. Aaron Carter, right? Multi-platinum award-winning singer, no longer has a blue check mark, and he was deleted. He said, "Yo, Kanye, let's talk man to man," and then he ends up dead November 4th. I mean, come on. And I wouldn't even be surprised that if Harley, trained him, but who knows? Who knows? I'm not gonna put that on Harley, but shit, bro. It's just too much. Oh, this nigga was on OnlyFans. God damn. This nigga was desperate. He was desperate. I mean, he could have overdosed or he could have been sacrificed. Who knows? You dig? But I mean, I definitely think there's something there. Let's get into the man that deleted Kanye's mother on the operating table. Jan Adams, and Jan Adams is a brother. He was born Rudolgo Alonzo Adams. He's a former American cosmetic surgeon, author, and television presenter. Rudolgo Alonzo Adams was born in Middleton, Ohio. At 6 months, his name was changed to Jan Rudolgo Adams. He attended Harvard University, so we all know with these Ivy League schools, there are secret societies involved with these Ivy League schools. After his sophomore year, Adams worked for S. Allen Counter when he studied the hearing systems of insects. He attended Harvard starting in March 1977 and graduated from Ohio State University College of Medicine In June 1985, he trained in plastic and reconstructive surgery at the University of Michigan, where he served as chief resident in plastic surgery. He completed his surgical training at UCLA's first fellow in aesthetic surgery. Adams began his career as an author with scientific journals. The first was Late Infection Following Aesthetic Malar Augmentation with Proplast Implants with Dr. Kawamoto. Adams' first book, Everything Women of Color Should Know About Cosmetic Surgery, was published by St. Martin's Press in 2000. So that's a very interesting title. Everything Women of Color Should Know About Cosmetic Surgery. Why? I mean, I know he's a man of color, but very interesting title. Was he telling them that it was dangerous? Was he telling them that it wasn't worth it? Was he telling them that they could get into, you know, a good diet and not have to use plastic surgery, cosmetic surgery? His break in television came in 2001. So obviously he's grandfathered in. He went to Harvard University, graduated from Ohio State University of Medicine, and then he gets a chance on TV after he wrote a book or two, did some research with different doctors, and now he's on TV in 2001. I mean, very successful guy, very successful brother. You know, I can't take that away from him. But he was chosen as a correspondent for syndicated entertainment show Extra. He also starred on daytime talk show The Other Half with Dick Clark, Danny Bonaduce, and Mario Lopez. He has appeared on Plastic Surgery Before and After and The Oprah Winfrey Show. So he's grandfathered in, bro. He's a made man in Hollywood. Simple. I mean, what more can you say? Adams was the plastic surgeon who performed breast reduction. Oh, they show some titties. Surgery along with other procedures on Donda West, the mother of rapper Kanye West. Donda West died at home the next day, November 10, 2007, while under the care of her nephew, a nurse. The final coroner's report, January 10, 2008, said Donda West died of coronary artery disease and multiple post-operative factors due to or as a consequence of liposuction and mammoplasty. Records also indicate that in 2001, 2 malpractice lawsuits against Adams ended in judgments of $217,000 and $250,000. So, I mean, he went to Harvard. Everybody knew that he was willing to, you know, go in between. He was willing to work in those gray areas of medicine. And this is how you guys have to understand that these people are chosen. It's not just like one day that he was chosen to do the surgery on Donda. He was grandfathered in by Hollywood elites. As you know, as you can see, he literally was on these shows. He's literally on these Hollywood shows, and he had 2 judgments against him for medical malpractice. I mean, dude, I mean, he's a fucking, or he was, I guess, a Hollywood golden boy. And he was doing surgery probably on, you know, other actresses and actors. How he got recommended to Kanye, you know, because that's a recommendation, dude. Oh yeah, man, go to, dude. Oh, your mama want to get surgery, man? Go to Jan. Dude, I mean, he's black. I mean, who else gonna take better care of a black woman than a black man, right? That's how they gonna get him to go to I'm telling you guys, that's how they gonna get him to go, or that's how they probably got him. Somebody put it in his ear. He didn't just get on Google and that was the first nigga that he seen that could do the surgery. Fuck no. I mean, he had to do some research, or maybe he, you know, however she sought him out. I mean, guys, there's a process to this. He was chosen. He went through Harvard. We know about the secret societies that go down in Harvard. You know, he studied with certain doctors, and then he gets on TV, and he's grandfathered in through Mammy Oprah. So, guys, I mean, it's something to it. If anything, it's something to it. That's all I'm saying. So, how are you on TV and you got 2 malpractice lawsuits against you? He's a made man. He's a made man. And, depending on if we really get into it, we could see some other ties that he may have had. On November 20th, Adams walked off Larry King Live, telling host Larry King he did not wish to answer any questions, citing a request by the West family for privacy. He returned on January 22nd, 2008, stating he was there to defend himself rather than discuss the specifics of West's death. He claimed his business had been almost destroyed by the publicity surrounding the case, and he took responsibility for multiple DUI offenses. So that nigga was drunk, working on operating on patients. That's what I mean, shit. Or hungover, right? So how does this happen? Who recommends a doctor like this, bruh? Oh, well, he went to Harvard, so he's good, right? Somebody put that little birdie in his ear, bruh. Somebody put that little birdie in his ear. On June 26, 2008, Adams was arrested again for driving under the influence of alcohol and for driving without a license in Solano County, California. So I'm telling you guys, they use these people who need a favor. These guys need favors. He pleaded nolo to 1 misdemeanor count of driving under the influence on January 7, 2009, and was sentenced to 1 year in jail. On April 8, 2009, Adams surrendered his California medical license following his multiple convictions of alcohol-related offenses. After an appeals process, Adams' license was reinstated under probationary restrictions on March 14, 2013. His license was revoked again on October 10, 2014, because he failed to comply with the terms of his probation. So all y'all see, he's a renegade. In April 2018, Kanye West claimed the cover to his 8th studio album, Love Everyone, would be a picture of Adams. According to West, he wanted the message of the artwork to be to forgive and stop hating, implying he had forgiven Adams for his mother's tragic passing. West ultimately did not follow through with his decision, as Adams requested West do otherwise. West later scrapped the album entirely after his rant at the TMZ office, eventually releasing the fully reworked album, Yay, with a different cover. So at first they were telling us that he wanted to name the album Hitler or some shit like that. Didn't they tell us that he wanted to name the album Hitler? And now they're saying, oh, well, he scrapped that and he was going to name it after the doctor that killed his mom, but he just named it Yay. So which one is it? Which one is it? Okay. So we're going to show you the man who operated on Kanye's mama, which this isn't like news. This is, something that's been there. But he's grandfathered in. He's a made man. He went through the university. Okay. So he was chosen to do this surgery, bro. Bro, he was chosen to do this surgery. So that's what I'm telling you guys. Okay. That's what I'm telling you guys. I don't know how he got recommended to Kanye's mama, but I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm gonna look some other shit up. Because it might be pertinent information. But guys, this shit is crazy, man. This shit is crazy. Y'all have to understand what's going on. I can't spell it all out for you, but I think there's something there. Now, Kanye had some gripes with what the quote unquote honorable Sir Louis Farrakhan had to say about him. And like I told you guys, my main critique of Kanye, well, I do have a few critiques of Kanye. I think like there's some issues with his church shit. I think there's some issues there for sure. I don't think that he should be in the capacity to be a pastor because, I mean, does he really know the word like that? So, but anyways, Mr. Farrakhan was speaking about Kanye, and Kanye didn't like it, as you saw in the clip earlier. So let's listen.
I'd like to start with Brother Kyrie. What did he do wrong? What did he do? He's searching for the knowledge of himself. He's searching to know who he is, who he belongs to. What is his root in this world? And some of you that are persecuting him are the very ones that took away from him and from us the knowledge of self. You took our language, you took our culture, you took our history, you took our minds and inserted your mind into our mind through your systems. And now God has come to lift us from this terrible condition that you have placed us in. So he saw a movie. He didn't write the movie. He wasn't the producer of the movie. He wasn't the director of the movie. Somebody told him that there was a movie titled From Hebrews to Negroes. That's an interesting title because many of our people don't know anything about being a Hebrew. We know that we passed through something called Negro, and the honorable.
Shout out to Rob P with the 199 Super Tribe. He said, YouTube L for demonetizing you. Stay blessed.
Oh, say less.
Oh, for sure.
Elijah Muhammad told us that means someone dead life.
And I'm demonetized on my Reclaim Your Throne channel, not this one, on my other channel. So this one's good, but my other channel is demonetized.
Hard, neutral. We didn't name ourselves a Negro. They named us that because they put us in the condition that that name represents. Kyrie and Ye and all of you now.
I am. Okay, I don't know why I didn't know it was that short. See on Kyrie. I didn't realize that it was that short. Is it that long? Hold on. How long was he talking? Shit. Is this the full video? Oh, Jesus. Woo! That nigga talked for 54 minutes. This was a whole sermon, y'all. This was a whole sermon. We could break down some of it. But let's see.
Speaking this morning to you on behalf.
Oh, this nigga a slow talker. Let's put it in. Let's say 175.
Of my teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I am sure that my teacher, who is presently on the wheel, these unidentified by others flying objects that are present in this world to bring about the judgment of God. I am sure my teacher is deeply concerned about what is happening in Black America today that is put two of our young men. One, a great basketball player, Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
And another brother who is called a rapper, but he's so much more than that. Brother Ye. And the controversy that is swirling around these two men.
Dang, this shit is, I mean, whew, this shit is going slow, even at 2 times speed.
That is causing, unfortunately, division among a people that can least afford to be broken more apart because of misunderstanding and, unfortunately, parts of ignorance that we don't see the enemy.
Damn. Maybe that's what Kanye was talking about with the slight.
Who is working 100% to bring bloodshed about among us because of the serious nature of what is happening. That is causing them, the enemy, to use his influence on those of us who are on his payroll. And those of us who have been blessed to be connected to them. Could be a blessing, but it also can be a cursing. Because once the enemy puts his talons into you, he's reaching for your mind, but more than that, he's reaching for your soul.
Bro, this nigga's, come on, bro. I mean, respectfully to Honorable shit. I mean, is he gonna say something? I mean, I get it, all the spiritual warfare shit. Yeah, we get that, but come on, bro. I know he ain't gonna be preaching for 30 minutes without saying nothing.
To empty us and make us weak when we could be strong. And doing his bidding rather than manifesting the great love that God wants us to show toward one another. I'd like to start with Brother Kyrie. What did he do wrong? What did he do? He's searching for the knowledge of himself. He's searching to know who he is, who he belongs to. What is his root in this world? And some of you that are persecuting him are the very ones that took away from him and from us the knowledge of self. You took our language, you took our culture, you took our history, you took our minds and inserted your mind into our mind through your systems. And now God has come to lift us from this terrible condition that you have placed us in. So he saw a movie. He didn't write the movie. He wasn't the producer of the movie. He wasn't the director of the movie. Somebody told him that there was a movie titled From Hebrews to Negroes. That's an interesting title because many of our people don't know anything about being a Hebrew. We know that we passed through something called Negro, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us that means someone dead, lifeless, hard, neutral. We didn't name ourselves a Negro. They named us that because they put us in the condition that that name represents. Kyrie and Ye and all of you now that are involved in the conversation, could you just step back a moment and let's reason together?
Wow.
He saw the movie because of all of the anger and dislike and breaking.
And I'm in the process of watching the movie. I think I'm an hour in. The first 15 minutes is the nigga promoting himself and like documentaries that he's doing, books that he's written, all that type of shit. So I mean, it's a very interesting movie for sure. I thought it was interesting, and I don't see any issue with him sharing it. I mean, it's on Amazon, so I mean, it must have been approved. Cyrus Cherry says, how could a doctor like him be on TV? Weinstein was the king of Hollywood. If anyone should have immunity to jail or prison, it's him. No magic in Hollywood.
Oh, say less.
I mean, but if I'm not mistaken, I mean, did Weinstein really, I mean, did he really get hit over the head like that? How much time did he get in prison? Let me see. Because I didn't think they hit him over the head like that. I mean, they definitely made an example, I guess, right? Oh, he was sentenced to 23 years. Okay. Damn. Okay. Yeah, they put his behind up in there. I mean, Yeah, he fucked up. He definitely fucked up. Let's see. Yeah, so I think they gave his ass 23 years. Now they talking about some fake teeth shit. Damn. So yeah, I mean, he got exposed. But honestly, he wasn't the only one. And y'all see Kevin Spacey's charge has been dropped. And I don't know, bruh. I don't know what he was cleared of all charges, but y'all see, if where there's smoke, there's fire, possibly. I don't want to, go as far as to say, but,
King of Pot, I said, let me see this movie. And I and my wife and my family, we watched the movie the other night. It was well researched. The people that did it, they had a purpose. The purpose of those people was to show us how we got from Hebrew to Negro.
Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying the movie so far. I'm only 1 hour in. I think it's like 3 or 4 hour movie, but I'm enjoying the movie so far. And I mean, my main complaint was the 10, 15 minutes of advertisement at first. Very dramatized, and I don't know how much original video that he used, but I mean, it's an interesting movie for sure. Definitely not something that you should be like punished over. It is conspiratorial. But what's wrong with that? I mean, they do make all types of fucking Netflix films that are loosely based on true stories and shit like that, and they be throwing their own mix into it. So I don't see the issue.
As I watched that, I could see my brother. He's not thinking about hating somebody. He's thinking about learning more about himself, because we're tired of being what others have made us. We must become ourselves again. And he was interested in that journey, and I can listen to him, and I can see him, and I can see that's the journey that he's on. He's not trying to hurt the Nets. He's not trying to hurt the brothers that are playing ball with him. But he is trying to be true to himself. The greatest teaching of the God who came to find us and save us. He said, accept your own and be yourself. That is what Kyrie is trying to do. Find his own, accept his own, and be himself. I heard an intelligent brother, not a foolish man, but a man that has found something that is more valuable for him than being loved as a great, fantastic ball player. So many of you, my brothers who are former players, and you've been so good at it, and you know who your managers have been, you know who your accountants have been and are, you know who your agents have been and are, you know who the owners of the teams that you play on, whether it's basketball.
You know who's the owner of the league that you play for. I mean, come on, guys. Let's keep it a buck. I mean, it's not that hard. And even Adam Silva just came out today and he said he 100% believes that Kyrie Irving is not anti-Semitic. But then they're going to have my man go through all these fucking hoops. Okay. And we're going to read that. We're going to read that article. Not anti-Semitic. Yeah, so we're going to read that shit. Because, like, what the fuck? If the owner of the NBA says Kyrie ain't anti-Semitic, then what the fuck are all these motherfuckers doing? Like, for real, bro. It's wild.
Football, I don't know, whatever it is, you know who they are. And because of your greatness, they have decided that you should become rich. For hundreds of years, they didn't decide like that. For hundreds of years, they loved that you were poor and talented. So they could be your managers. They could be your agents. They could give you knowledge and give you favor. You don't see as God would love for you to see, because there are forces.
And I ain't gonna lie. I mean, they do be showing love. So, like, this is not to disrespect the ones who be showing love, the small hats who be showing love, because they do be showing love. I've got love shown from the small hats for sure. So it's not to say that, it's just to understand that, yo, like a lot of these dudes are getting in fucked up contracts, especially in the music industry, in Hollywood. And honestly, guys, I was going to save this clip, but I might as well show it now. Because they really trying to railroad my man Kyrie. And, you know, honestly, like, I like hearing about what he believes in, and I like hearing about his different theories and shit like that. It's just interesting. It ain't to say that he's wrong or right, but at least he makes you go say, hey, you know, let me look some shit up and see what he talking about. Okay, let me look some shit up. So let's keep going.
Among us that they are afraid of. You'll discover the truth of yourself and them. They don't want you to find who you are, because once you know yourself, the next step is you got to rise up from where you are to be yourself. And yourself is a noble person, a righteous person, a person that can be labeled the Son of God. The Bible says of us, ye are all gods, children of the Most High God. So ye must have discovered something. He said, I am God. People that were interviewed, they don't talk like that. Why? Because you don't want us to identify with God. It's all right for us to call each other, yo, dog, how things going, dog? But each of us, Elijah Muhammad said, when you see a black man, you are looking at God. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wanted to give us that kind of knowledge. And he made us to stop using the term nigger and call each other brother, call each other sister, and learn to love for your brother what you love for yourself. And there are many black people in America. And
I fuck with that. Okay. I fuck with that. I'm not so big on the I am God thing, even though I did kind of like the Yeezus album. Not kind of, I was rocking with it. Even though he was like, I am a God. I mean, the beats were hard, I thought. But I'm not really big on the I am a God thing. I don't, you know, I don't be doing all that. Like, we're not gods, we're humans. But you know, he can say whatever the hell he wants, right?
Around the world that are digging at the knowledge of self. Many in America digging at the knowledge of self and sharing what they know. So Kyrie saw the movie and he wanted to share it with those that follow him. You know how we've been. You find a reefer and it's good to you. You call your friends and you share your reefer. They're not mad with that.
You talking about some reefer. He said they ain't mad at that. I mean, that is a good point, though. That is a good point.
Yo, dog, come on, let's smoke this blunt.
He said better than saying I'm a pimp, MC. Yeah, I mean, I as long as you moving God-like, you know what I'm saying, then that's fine. And I'm not saying you can't make mistakes and shit. But you know, I like dudes saying, "Yo, I am a God," rather than, I mean, I don't know. It does sound kind of crazy, but you know how brothers be like, "Yo, what's good, God," and all that type of stuff. I can fuck with that, but at the same time, I'm never gonna like actually believe that I'm a literal God, like, because you don't have control of everything. But yeah, very interesting. What Minister Farrakhan's saying. I do want to show you guys this clip about the anti-Semitic trick, and this is coming from a Semitic woman, allegedly. And she was part of the Israeli government and all that type of shit. So listen up. We're gonna listen.
Often when there is dissent expressed in the United States against policies of the Israeli government, people here are called anti-Semitic. What is your response to that as an Israeli Jew?
Well, it's a trick. We always use it.
You heard what she said. She asked her, when people have dissenting views about, you know, how we deal with Israel in America, she asked her, what do you think about people being called anti-Semitic? And she said, oh, it's a trick, like off rip. And this is an Israeli Jewish woman. And off rip, she said, oh, it's a trick. We always use it. I mean, guys, you can't make this shit up. I believe she was like an Israeli minister or something. What was it? Yeah, government minister Shulamit Alani confesses that the anti-Semitic shit is a trick. And this was dated January 3rd, 2022. This was earlier this year. Cyrus Cherry with the $5 super trap. He says he's talking about Psalms 82:6. Lots of prosperity pastors use this scripture to justify the idea of manifesting and other new age garbage.
Oh, say like
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not really big on the church that Kanye's doing because I don't, you know, I do think it's kind of a joke, honestly. I don't think that they're really saving people there. But it is what it is. He can do with that whatever the hell he wants. But there is some satanic imagery that I also seen in his church shit. And then when you listen to Jesus is King, there's one song where he mentions the Son of the Morning, and we all know who that is. And then he also made the beat Lucifer, Son of the Morning. So for Jay-Z. So it's like, and we know he knows who the Son of the Morning is. And I think he ended up trying to say Jesus was the Son of the Morning. You know, and he's a lyricist. He writes lyrics, so he knows what the fuck he's saying. I'm just saying, Kanye ain't innocent either. In this whole satanic imagery, Masonic agenda. He been throwing up the rock too. He been throwing up the rock. He been doing one all-seeing eye imagery for a long time. So he's not innocent in this shit too. I wouldn't be surprised if he's control opposition for sure. But I do think that, you know, he's also onto something if he's doing this out of his own free will and volition.
People here are called anti-Semitic. What is your response to that as an Israeli Jew?
Well, it's a trick. We always use it. When from Europe somebody is criticizing Israel, then we bring up the Holocaust.
Yep.
When in this country people are criticizing Israel, then there are...
And guys, I think this was on C-SPAN. This was on C-SPAN. You guys got to start watching C-SPAN. I mean, she literally said it was a trick. She said in Europe, we bring up the Holocaust. So how is the Holocaust a trick, though? Unless you really ask the questions that need to be asked. That's all I'm going to say. How is the Holocaust a trick? How is that a trick? I mean, it's the same thing as when black people bring up slavery for every damn argument. Oh, well, we've been this and that. And, you know, you can argue that for sure, but it is a shaming tactic, you know, when arguing. It is, okay? It's a little closer to home with us, I think. But when you look at it, guys, she's literally saying it's a trick. In Europe, we use the Holocaust. How could it be a trick in Europe using the Holocaust if I'm not going to make the I'm not going to make the leap there, but how could that, why would she describe that as being a trick using the Holocaust in Europe? Very interesting.
The Holocaust. When in this country people use it. When from Europe somebody is criticizing Israel, then we bring up the Holocaust. When in this country people are criticizing Israel, then there are anti-Semitic. And the organization is strong and has a lot of money. And the ties between Israel and the American Jewish establishment are very strong.
Wow. I mean, she said that the ties between the American and Jewish establishment are very strong. She didn't just say strong, very strong. I mean, they're a close ally, probably one of our closest allies. And if they do some shit that we don't like, then we just wash it over and it's just an apology. Right? Anybody remember the USS Liberty? They do some shit that we don't like. Oh, you know, it's not the end of the world. Right? They blow up a ship. We forgive you. And the ties are still strong. I mean, if anybody else blew up an American ship, it would be up, like Kanye said. It would be World War III. Hell, we're in Ukraine right now fighting a proxy war with Russia. And let's keep it a buck. Have they really, threatened us in that way? That we're over there sending money, sending ammunitions, people donating arms? I'm just asking a question.
And they are strong in this country. As you know, they have power, which it's okay. They are talented people and they have power, money, and media and other things. And their attitude is Israel, my country, right or wrong, the identification. And they are not ready to hear criticism. And it's very easy to blame people who criticize certain acts of the Israeli government as anti-Semitics and to bring up the Holocaust and the suffering of the Jewish people. And that justify everything we do to the Palestinians.
I mean, she said that justifies everything that they do to the Palestinians. You heard what she said, guys. I mean, we can go home at this point.
You don't say nothing about that. But when they get knowledge and want to share knowledge, they're not talking against you. They work to make you richer as you work to make them some money too. These people aren't anti-Semitic. Every one of them ain't never done nothing against you as a Jewish person. They don't do that. Not one of those do things to purposely harm a Jewish person. The man went to a movie. He saw something that taught him more about himself, and he wanted to share it. You looked at his passing on what he thought was knowledge that would sink his roots back in the soil of himself and the God. And you felt threatened by that. Why owners of the nets, why did you feel threatened? He didn't call you out by name. He just said he saw something and he put it up. You called it what? An anti-Semitic trope. The movie is almost a little over 2 hours. I'm sure there are things in there that you didn't like.
Yeah.
But there are many things that you all have written about us that we don't like.
Woo! And that's true. I mean, that's true. All he did was share a movie. But you can share Django where Leonardo DiCaprio was saying the N-word and black people could have took offense to that. As a matter of fact, when it came out, I think that there were a lot of articles, where black people took offense to that. And they literally were able to call us a racial slur on the big screen for millions to see and purchase, might I add. And there was no issue with that. All Kyrie did was share a movie. If I share Django right now, you think there's going to be uproar? Fuck no. They're going to be like, yes, let's see Jamie Foxx's dick again. Like, bro, it's bullshit.
You have been the one making us hate who we are and hate our origin in the world. You're the one that made Tarzan and telling us that that's a part of us. You've done all of this to us. And we couldn't say nothing. You're the one that made a darky, a little black Sambo, and you made us to see that as who we are. Can't you see that we're tired of that? So because I and others of knowledge are spreading knowledge of God, knowledge of self, knowledge of the time, and also knowledge of an enemy. Because we couldn't be in a condition like this if all of you are friends. We have enemies, and those enemies have dropped us down in the barrel of waste. We're not around here hating you. But we tell the truth of what we know, of what some of you have done to put us in the condition that we're in. Kyrie found something. I want you to say that you are sorry for saying something that is anti-Semitic. And he kept telling you, I can't be anti myself. You didn't want to hear that.
Yep.
You know you came from us. You know that you are not the father of humanity. We know our history and we know yours. We don't like what you're doing to Kyrie or to Ye. And when we see how you want to break him, destroy him, to keep him from saying anything that might enlighten our people. Do you know when you mess up his mind like that, he can't play? I saw the man playing ball the other day and he missed every shot, almost.
Yeah, he did.
He can't play with his mind in that state. And when his brother Kevin Durant said, I don't like none of this. He's not saying he don't like the movie. He's not liking what you're doing to a man who wasn't doing nothing against you, but searching for greater knowledge. And you decided to break him. You decided to put fear into men like Charles Barkley and LeBron James and other black men who had become rich and powerful. You wanted to say, you were saying to them as you were lynching Kyrie, you all better get the point. You all better get the message. They don't want you rising up into that knowledge that will make you a real man and not a glorified punk. I'm saying to the ADL, sir, we know you. And we know that we know you, and you know that we know you. Don't talk to Kyrie by himself. He can go and look at the horror of the Holocaust. Why don't you come and look at the horror of what your parents have done to black people in America and throughout the world? Why don't you come and study and repent of your evil to us? And maybe we can sit down and have a talk like civilized human beings.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Ye is not a hater. Ye is a lover. Kyrie is the same. But he wants to stand on a principle. And you see him standing, how intelligent he is, and the media keeps running at him. Why don't you say you apologize for this anti-Semitism? You did the same thing to me. I tried to have meetings with you. Let's dialogue about this. You don't want to dialogue with me. You want to dialogue with somebody that you know you can put down because of the power.
Yeah, see, they I mean, you know, and I'm not like the biggest fan of the minister. You know, it is what it is. As a black person, you have to ultimately like be like, yo, you know, shout out to the minister type shit. But I don't agree with everything that he says. But I mean, he do be dropping some jewels, bro. And he been on this earth for a long time, for sure. So I do always tend to listen to my elders, even though I don't agree with everything that they're saying. Okay. But that's the game.
You have over them by giving them a contract and money that you can take from them if they say or do anything that you don't like. This is the day of judgment and justice. These men don't want to be against you. These men are grateful. You brought them out of college and high school and gave them a contract. You gave them a contract because you saw their talent. Haven't they made money for you all? So now you sign them up. And then Adidas comes by, and Nike comes by and gives them a lot of money that they don't see. You have them on a leash. And whenever somebody like Kyrie or Ye rise up and you don't like it, you pull the chain. So we run out and dog our own brother because he did something for a principle. You will too. Life is bigger than paper with a white man's image on it. Life is bigger than a nice house and a nice car and a lot of bling bling. Life is bigger than an Oscar. Life is bigger than a belt. Life is bigger than something that says, I am the best at what I do. I'm the most valuable player, or my team won. But as a people, we are losing. We cannot afford to lose any of you. You are our kith and our kin, our flesh and our blood. And so I wanted to say something to help us to come together rather than break apart. Because it's Ye and Kyrie today. But what they're doing to them is to make you, who are in the good graces of them, so you think. You see what we just did? Ye lost $2 billion in a few days. You might wonder, did he really have it?
Uh-oh.
He lost that much that soon? You know when you signed the contract with...
Yeah, so that's what he was talking about. That's what he was talking about, the slight there. Did he really have it? And I mean, it is true that he didn't really have it. So I don't think the minister was trying to make fun of you, Kanye, but I'm just saying, like, you didn't really have the money, bro. Respectfully. You didn't have it all. You said Forbes still had to put 400 million. So you didn't have the whole $2 billion.
I don't know what's in the contract, but you do. So evidently, Adidas and all the companies that Brother Kanye is signed to or was signed to, until Mr. Ari Emanuel told everybody just drop him.
Yeah.
Beloved.
And we know Ari Emanuel's connections.
Brothers and sisters, look. Your day is soon coming. I'm asking you stop beating each other up in the public. Stop doing that. But of course, that's what the master wants us to do. There's a slave here that's getting out of place. And teach him a lesson. beat him up. I'm saying to you, don't do that. Call your brother. Come and sit down with us. Tell us about this movie. I understand that Brother Shaq, Keel, O'Neal, put it up in his theater. Go see it. You don't want to read Secret Relationship with Blacks and Jews that we financed, we researched. Yes, sir. And you told me when we sat down. We had dinner together.
Damn.
In the home of a Jewish rabbi.
Damn. He said he sat down with Shaq. And he said he sat down with Shaq and a rabbi. And he didn't want to read the book. Now that's some bullshit. At least read the book. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to read Secret Relationship with Blacks and Jews that we financed, we researched. Yes, sir. And you told me when we sat down. We had dinner together in the home of a Jewish rabbi. I went. Others went. I brought some of my people. And there were two rabbis. There was Irv Kupcinet, great reporter for the Chicago Sun-Times. And after we had a beautiful dinner together, we looked like we were going to be on a page together where the controversy could stop. But the rabbi said to me, this is love fest. That is near the end of the dinner. But then he reached in his pocket and pulled out an envelope and said, but this is tough love. We want something from you.
Uh-oh.
And they said, Minister, we have to watch you over a protracted time to make sure that you've changed. Then we had just put out the first volume of The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews. And you all told me, we want you to renounce this book.
Damn.
Because
I mean, I haven't read the book. But I'm open to all and any information, and I'm willing to do the research myself. So I don't see why they couldn't just read the book and debunk it. You know, debunk every claim. There are plenty of things in history that were rewritten. Okay, and people talking in the chat right now about it. Okay, they're putting it in the chat right now about, you know, atrocities that may or may not have been committed by certain individuals. So I don't see why they weren't open to, you know, looking into the research that he had done.
Because it's a great calumny against the Jewish people. You said that to me. You said to me, nobody that is deemed an enemy to the Jewish people is ever written of well in history.
You heard what he said. I mean, nobody that's ever looked at as an enemy to the small hats is ever written well in history. And the minister knows that he's going to go down in history for good or for worse, whatever, you know. I like the minister. You know what I'm saying? He's an elder. I wouldn't just denounce everything that he's saying, but, you know, he be speaking facts for real. And I think the relationship between Godfrey and Lord Jamar was ended because of Vlad's slight with the minister, or slight toward the minister or whatnot. And you can have your opinion. I'm not going to fall out over somebody's opinion about somebody who, you know, is an elder of mine. I'm not going to fall out. I don't think he was like crazily disrespectful, but it is what it is, guys.
Jewish people is ever written of well in history. You know, you control much of the publishing industry. So if you write the books, your people are heavily placed in the media. So when you all get ready to dog us out, you call those in that you pay. Then you told me that if I did all the things that you all asked me to do, you would clean up my image.
Wow. He said if he did all the things that he would ask him to do, he'd clean up his image, and, you know, he would make him a made man. They would make him a made man. I'm telling you guys, I mean, come on. How would they be able to clean up his image unless they owned they own what the image, you know, they own the Photoshop. That's what it is. Like they have control over the Photoshop, so they can clean up your image. How would a rabbi be able to clean up his image? That makes no fucking sense. Unless they have ties. Mob ties. Like them niggas Mob James and them said, bro. I mean, dude, that's a bold claim. Hey, you know, you do this for us. You go through these Kyrie quests, which we'll start calling them Kyrie quests now. You go through the Kyrie quest and we'll clean up your image. That's wild.
You knew you dirtied it. But I'm not going to beg and bow to you to clean up my image. God is sufficient for me.
Uh-oh.
And God is sufficient for Kyrie and Ye. And God is sufficient for everyone who has been made a millionaire, a multimillionaire, a billionaire. And then you call your man at Forbes and tell them, put it in the book, that there's a new billionaire black kid on the block.
Yeah.
There's Miss Oprah, one of the most beautiful women you could ever have as a friend.
Oh, okay. He said one of the most beautiful women you could ever have as a friend. I was like, whoa, now you lost me, minister, because, you know, accomplished, successful, powerful, yeah, beautiful, not so much.
But now she has something to lose if she's not careful.
Yeah.
Careful means you have to guard your mouth. So you used to be able to open it. I'm going to do that again. You used to be able to open it. Now when they pull that chain,
that nigga having fun.
Now you can't find your voice. You're afraid. When fear grips you because you think you're going to lose something that's dear to you, so you don't want to venture out because you're afraid. I say this, dear beloved, resist the devil and he will flee from you. To resist means to withstand the action or the effect of. Because if you stand and fight with truth and unity, you'll never lose even what you got. They don't want to be shown up. They want to put fear into you. And they do have power to hurt us. And God has plenty of power to hurt them. So I think I'll stop now. But if you want our brothers to come and sit with your rabbis and visit the Holocaust Museum, why not let one of our scholars come and sit with them?
Uh-oh. And see, once you start questioning that damn Holocaust Museum, it's OV. And they're saying the one in Auschwitz is an original. I'll let you guys be the judges of that. They're saying the gas chambers were original. I'll let you guys be the judges of that. It is what it is. There are people who, you know, don't agree. There are people who may even believe that they're replicas. But it is what it is, guys. There are questions about history, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Why is there something wrong about questioning, yo, did this really happen how they told us it happened? Or are they exaggerating?
Because we know the Torah, by God's grace. We know the Talmud. And we know you and your history. Leave our people alone. Leave Kyrie alone. Step back and see what you're unleashing. Stephen A. the other day, he didn't take up with Kyrie in the movie, but he took up that you took it too far. Some others say you buck breaking because you still are an old wicked slave master. Yes, sir. Sing for me, nigga.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, it's getting spooky.
Don't talk dribble. Well, we're tired. We don't mind dribbling for you if you respect us for who we are. We haven't asked you for nothing more than a decent paycheck for the work that we do to make you a multimillionaire and a billionaire. Leave our brothers alone. Don't try to use what you're doing to Ye and Kanye. Ye and Kyrie, pardon me. So you can keep a muzzle on our great basketball players that have a big contract with you. When they reached in their pocket and showed me a white envelope with the things they wanted me to do if I would have their friendship.
And I believe them, honestly. I 100% believe him. When he's talking about they came to him and said, hey, do this. I mean, bruh, that's literally what they're doing to Kyrie. So it's real shit.
And when they say we're going to watch you for a protracted period of time. See, we need to watch them for a protracted period of time because we have never done to you and your people what you and your people have done to us.
Uh-oh.
We don't need to go see the Holocaust. We feel your pain because we're really human beings. You don't feel ours. Because to you, 1,000 blacks ain't worth the fingernail of a Jewish man.
Damn. Damn. I mean, bro, this is what y'all have to believe, or this is what y'all have to understand. Certain individuals really feel like that. Certain individuals really feel like that. Okay? Certain individuals really feel like that. Certain individuals do have that superiority complex. Like I showed you in the clip before, the woman was explaining, hey, that's why we don't feel bad about doing what we're doing to Palestine, because it's justified by our victimhood, our victim status. You know? And then you dig a little deeper and they playing both sides of the game in damn near every world conflict, respectfully. So it's very interesting, guys.
Because we're really human beings. You don't feel ours. Because to you, 1,000 blacks ain't worth the fingernail of a Jewish man.
And this is, I mean, a lot of this comes out of their holy texts. Okay? So they're justified in that way of thinking. I'm not saying all. I'm just saying in general. Cyrus Cherry with the $5 super trap says they told Oprah if she don't denounce Dr. Oz, they would release those recordings of her and Gail using the N-word.
Oh, say like
Damn. That's a bomb drop for your ass.
I've read these things. Yes, you want to have a real good dialogue so we can start afresh and anew? Because the old way is not going to work. I told the rabbi and Irv Kupsinet, 2 or 3 rabbis, Irv Kupsinet. They said, well, you got your truth and we got ours. I said, it's not about your truth or my truth. It's about what is the truth.
Facts.
If we can agree on the truth, we can build a better relationship. Now, I think we should watch you for a protracted period of time before we admit you into our heart as a friend. What about that one? You want my brother to go out and denounce a movie that is teaching knowledge of self? Why don't you call the producer of that, the writer of that, and make them say that what they did is a lie? It's still in the movie. Don't pick on my brother. If you want to fight, we can entertain you. We're all born to die. And at some point, I don't give a skip how powerful you are. Like I said to one of your brothers who had me, and I visited him in his penthouse apartment on 5th Avenue. And he offered me a drink. I said, sir, I don't drink. He said, well, you drink orange juice? I said, yes. He said, that's me. You listen to music? I said, of course. He said, that's me. Do you go to the movies? Of course, occasionally. He said, that's me. I said, sir, I know you're a powerful man. I said, but the God I serve, when it's your time to get out of here, neither your money or your power can keep you alive on this earth 1 fraction of a second after the decree of death is in for you. So who's really powerful? I'm not bowing to you. I bow to God. And I think we're going to get to that point where our people are not going to bow no more. We'll soon get to that point where your money don't mean to us what it means to you. When life don't mean more to us than the principles of truth upon which we stand. You're going to meet that kind of black person. You're meeting them now.
Yeah, that's some real shit. I think Ben Bazalil had an interesting take. He says, first of all, why concern yourself with the Juice Crew? Why don't you get with the real research that shows that most of us here in America were already here, that most African slaves went to Brazil? Well, what you may not be getting the full picture of that is that the small hats were involved in that as well. You know, the Portuguese small hats were pivotal in, you know, selling slaves in South America. So, you know, you're saying not to focus on, and I'm not really trying to focus on them. I'm just trying to keep it a buck. I'm just trying to, you know, speak with reality. It's crazy, man.
And more, you are making them by what you're trying to do to Ye, what you've done to Ye, and what you're trying to make Kyrie do to get back friendship with you that you never give him. Ain't no forgiveness in you. It's never enough. He said, I apologize for the hurt that my going through that movie and advising others to check it out. It may hurt. That ain't far enough. You did the same to others. That's not far enough. We don't like your apology. Tell me something. How many of you would come and sit down and apologize to us for the transatlantic slave trade? You come now. Bring your wife and your children and tell us you're sorry for killing us, raping us, castrating us, and enslaving us, and making us chattel. Will you come and apologize? Our people can be like you. It ain't enough. See? If we tell you when you apologize, it's not enough. Oh, you're trying to pimp us and hustle. No, reparation ain't pimping. Reparation is what we deserve for the pain and anguish that you have caused us to suffer. No. But you won't do that. You won't do justice by us. That's why judgment is on you now. That's why you can't live a day without another calamity. And they're not going to stop. It's going to get harder and harder because the God of justice has claimed us, Kyrie and Ye, and Durant, and Buck.
All right. I mean, y'all heard what he said. We've been going long enough. Interesting stuff here. I don't think I do want to show this. Adam Silva speaks on the Kyrie situation. He says Kyrie Irving is not anti-Semitic. NBA Commissioner Adam Silva says. We won't read the full article, but as you can see, he's keeping it a buck. Maybe he told Kyrie to keep it quiet. Who knows? You know, backroom handshake deal. I don't know what's going on, but he obviously came out here and said, hey, y'all tripping. Shout out to an 8 Ways with the $10 super trap. He says, salute BGZM, salute to the mods and chat. Great show. Thank you.
Oh, say less.
Yes, sir. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. Y'all cop the merch, support the channel. It's getting tough out here in these YouTube streets. If my less controversial channel got demonetized, you know, this one might also be on the way. I do have an active strike or whatever. So, you know, I'm treading lightly here, but y'all already know what it is, man. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and we're going to send it to Jenquavius to take us away.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting
just took place. Excuse me. I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Janquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dogs. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo.
Whoa.
Ain't that nigga J?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit
That's
on.
that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Janquavius
Hey,
Jackson,
jump on that
here
nigga,
live,
man.
reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.